Welcome to the T-Pac Arcade. Today's game is Bobble Part 2 for the Nintendo Game Boy. In this 1993 elimination action game from Taito, Robbie the Bubble Dragon has to save captured villagers from the evil King Great Skull, which will also turn him human again. I don't know why you'd want to be human instead of a bubble dragon, but that's beside the point. The objective here is to clear all monsters from the screen. There are a total of 4 worlds, each with 20 individual rounds, including a mid-boss fight and an end-boss fight. The way you eliminate enemies in Bobble, as the name might suggest, is by blowing bubbles to trap them, then popping those bubbles to turn them into bonus items, like fruits and corn dogs and stuff. It's delightful, but not as easy as it sounds. All the enemies have different behaviors, like the squids who float around, the aliens who fire lasers down at you, and the bouncy spring guys who, bounce around on springs. There are also a handful of big enemies that take multiple hits to capture. It can take some tactful maneuvering to get all the enemies, so luckily the screen wraps around vertically. You can dive down through the bottom to get to the top, and vice versa. But some enemies are perpetually out of reach, which is where the special bubbles come in. Certain rounds feature elemental bubbles like fire and water, which emit attacks to damage whatever monsters are in range when you pop them. Some are hard to use, like the lightning that only fires horizontally in the opposite direction you're facing, but others are the best kind of overpowered, like the starburst that spirals little sparks outward to catch all the surrounding monsters before they catch you. That's not to say they won't catch you though. Avoiding certain monsters, especially the ones with projectile attacks, can be really difficult. Luckily, Bobble Part 2 features a health system, where you can take 3 hits before losing a life, or more if you snag an extra heart item. Speaking of which, my favorite part of this game is all the bonus items. Not only are they fun and random, like magic wands and ice cream sundaes, but some of them even have special effects, like the parasol that lets you skip past a handful of levels, and the secret door that takes you to a bonus room where you collect snowflakes for extra lives, which you can also earn by popping letter bubbles to spell the word extend. And I needed the extra lives on some of those boss battles. Most of them are laughably easy, like the Owl Guardian one where he can't step on you as long as you stay under a platform, and the Magician one where he can't zap you as long as you stay on the platforms over his head. But some are pretty painful, like the tank guy who kept hitting me with wrenches. Oof. Aesthetically, there are few game franchises as charming as Bobble, and Part 2 for the Game Boy maintains that standard. Everything here is adorable, everything here is charming, everything here makes me happy. The random food bonus items, the music and sound effects, the whimsically designed bosses, even the evil King Great Skull is so cute that I almost don't want to fight him. The most novel aspect of Bobble Part 2 is that you can float by holding the action button to charge up a bubble that surrounds you. If this mechanic were in the original game, it would let you essentially cheese your way through all the hardest levels, but here, the designers did a good job of balancing it out with 2 specific checks. First is the spikes that force you to maneuver extra carefully to avoid taking damage, and second is these sort of air currents that push or pull your bubble in different directions depending on where you are in the playfield. It's hard for me to accurately gauge the difficulty of this game because I've played so much of the original Game Boy Bobble over the years, but I think it's safe to say this is a pretty easy one once you get a hang of the mechanics. The health meter helps tone down the challenge, and there are unlimited continues from checkpoint levels that never feel like they send you too far back. Things only start to get more difficult if you're trying to get the good ending, where the villagers get saved and Robbie becomes human again. The internet told me that in order to get the good ending, I have to earn 3 keys, one at the end of each preliminary world. And the internet told me that in order to earn the 3 keys, I have to collect 3 big diamonds before fighting the 3 end bosses of each preliminary world. What the internet didn't tell me was how to make those big diamonds appear. Certain levels reward you with big bonus items once all the monsters are cleared, but only if you meet certain criteria that are an enigma to me. Sometimes you get a big diamond, but other times you just get, like, a big hamburger. In my first playthrough, I did manage to collect 3 big diamonds, but 2 of them were in the same world, so I ended up 1 key short and got the bad ending. But on my second playthrough, I did get 1 big diamond per world, earned all the keys, and celebrated the good ending. But only half-heartedly, because it basically felt like I lucked my way to victory. If I could change one thing here, I'd get rid of the whole good ending, bad ending thing. You can keep the diamonds and keys and stuff, but just make them a score incentive rather than an ending criteria. Especially if true victory means transforming from a bubble dragon into a human. Lame. Overall, Bobble Part 2 honestly rivals Part 1 as my favorite Game Boy game of all time. It's got great new mechanics to add to the fun without messing up the charm of the original. If only it let me stay a bubble dragon to collect magic wands and ice cream sundaes forever.